see it. Let's see it. I feel like I want to get into this historical documentary of 20 minutes. Let's try it.
I studied the last 4 decades of pop culture and entertainment, and I have a theory. What if the best pop culture years all ended in 6? 2016, 2006, 1996. Think about it. Every decade, almost on cue, a flood of genre-defining films, era-shaping albums, and iconic TV moments rewrite the rules.
Hey, bro, tell me about it. Big 2016, bro. Summer 2016, the best summer. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Big 2016, best summer, hands down. But let's see, hey, if 2026 ends up being one of those years, bro, I hope I make it this year, bro. I hope I get 100 fucking viewers. I need that, Lord.
Let's test the pattern, explore these moments that made history, and predict what's next. Because if the cycle holds, 2026 is going to be our best year yet. But for now, let's head back to 1986 to find out what made it golden.
Spend some time and rock a rhyme. I said it's not that easy.
First, the big screen.
You don't stop and look around once in a while. You could miss it.
Rule number 1, make the audience want the life. Ferris Bueller turned skipping school into philosophy. It's funny, but it's also the blueprint for an entire era of teen wish fulfillment. Ferris breaks the fourth wall like it's no big deal, and suddenly every teen comedy wants a direct line to you. It's confident and it's personal. Now, spectacle with identity. Top Gun fuses aerial action with a music video heartbeat. From Ray-Bans to bomber jackets, cinema becomes brand culture. And brand culture becomes lifestyle. Aliens deepens the franchise with character-driven terror, while Blue Velvet rips open the American dream and whispers, "Don't trust the suburbs."
I've never even seen. I know Top Gun. I know the other, whatever he had on, or she had on, but Blue Velvet 1986, I've not even...
Range matters. You can go glossy or go art house as long as you go specific. Highlander gives British and French co-productions a cult mythology that still inspires. Meanwhile, Crocodile Dundee turns Australia into a global mood. Laid back, witty...
I've heard this, but I've never watched this movie. I've heard, like, this...
marketable. By the end of '86, studios understood. A hit sells a feeling first. The plot is the delivery, and identity is the product. Music, hooks, videos, and the birth of modern pop infrastructure. Janet Jackson is the perfect example. Choreography that moves the culture and a thesis statement for pop autonomy. Rap meets rock on MTV. That one riff, it tells everyone, hybrids win. Stop motion, surreal fruit, symphonies, anthems that turn car rides.
So that means I need to lock in this year and create a new genre of comedy. Cancer comedy.
Concerts, blue-collar myth-making meets neon pop. The choruses are engineered for endurance, weddings, stadiums, TikToks to come, minimal groove, maximal charisma. Prince proves that subtraction can be sexier than any wall of sound. Aha and Eurythmics perfect the synth pop formula, and Sweden's rising scene quietly builds the pop engine that will power the next 30 years. The Oprah Winfrey Show goes national and turns the conversation into an institution. The Golden Girls proves that comedy can age well and still lead primetime. Saturday morning cartoons push toy sales into overdrive. Spitting Image in the UK weaponizes puppets for political satire. British soaps like EastEnders dominate living rooms. In Japan, Dragon Ball begins broadcasting, quietly birthing a global anime empire. VHS rentals rule Friday nights, and the Nintendo Entertainment System redefines play. MTV Europe launched, Nike's Air Jordan era is here. Style is sport, and sport is marketing. In Nigeria, Afrobeat meets politics through Fela Kuti, the same duality that pop still chases. In Brazil, rock brasileiro catches fire.
Bro, I feel like I need to study more of this shit. Like I've no idea what's going on. I don't know any of these references. Half of these references I've never heard of, bro. I'm not from here. Let me just put, I'm not from here. I'm from Pakistan. I'll just say that. You know, I'm not from here.
Japan's city pop and idol culture write the playbook for K-pop decades early. 1986 teaches culture how to package identity. You can still buy a Top Gun jacket, quote Ferris Bueller, hear prayer in arenas, spot Janet's choreography DNA in pop tours, and we still remix rap rock formulas. Blue Velvet's Suburban Dread becomes a whole TV aesthetic. Twin Peaks Desperate Housewives, even Euphoria. Japan's gaming boom leads to global franchises. The UK's synth scene evolves into EDM. The deeper legacy here is design. Every time a film markets a feeling, every time a network tries to be a moment, you're watching 1986's software run on new hardware. It was the first time pop culture felt like it knew you. So, what does the 1986 blueprint predict? Personality-rich blockbusters, hybrid sounds that cross genres by design, TV that feels interactive even when it's not because community is the product. 2026 won't be about being louder, it will be about being sharper. Now, we enter 1996, the year pop culture found its edge.
It's going down, fade to Black Street.
The world has gone digital, but we're still analog enough to feel it. CDs stack like trophies, phones flip but don't scroll, and the soundtrack, it's chaos with intent. Cinema experiments, and style goes DIY. Again, let's start with the screen. Hollywood's formula is shifting. Glossy blockbusters share space with rough indie brilliance. A film that smells like adrenaline.
Bro, I really want to get into like an indie film this year, bro. Like, I don't know. I feel like I want to make at least like one short film this year, bro. That would be ideal. One short film, like, fuck it. I don't even have to direct it or produce it. Somebody else, let me just act in it, bro. I just want to, hey, what's good? I actually want to see I got any acting skills, bro. It's been so long since I made a fucking video that actually was like a skit, like a full-on thought-out skit.
And regret. Danny Boyle makes grime look cinematic. Heroin addiction, friendship, rebellion, the jump cuts, the monologue, the chaos. It's youth culture without a filter. Baz Luhrmann's remix of Shakespeare drenched in MTV energy. Guns instead of swords, Hawaiian shirts instead of tights, Leonardo DiCaprio instead of Leonard Whiting. It's love, tragedy, and aesthetic overload. 96 learns that story is timeless. Meta before meta was mainstream. He knows the tropes, so he breaks them, and the audience eats it up. Disaster movies, spy thrillers, and prestige drama coexist. Same year, same box office. 1996 says, you can have your popcorn and your Oscars. The Coens go cold and dark in Fargo. Lars von Trier shocks audiences with raw emotion in Breaking the Waves. It's almost emotion as rebellion. So if you had to choose the glossy chaos of Romeo and Juliet or the grit of something like Trainspotting, which one still feels more like the decade we are living in right now? Because by the end of 1996, the industry learned authenticity doesn't have to be polished. It just has to be undeniable. 1996 sounds like contradiction in stereo. 5 women, 1 word, attitude. Girl power goes global. Fun, fast, unapologetic. It's pop engineered for empowerment. Long before hashtags existed. West Coast heat. He's political, personal, and larger than life. Proof that vulnerability and strength coexist. Britpop at its loudest. Every song feels like a pub chant with poetic edges, but drum and bass and garage start bubbling underground. Anger turns mainstream. Confession becomes anthem. Hip-hop meets soul, alt-rock meets electronica. Beck is irony, The Prodigy is explosion. Chaos finally sounds cool. France invents future funk with Daft Punk's debut. Bollywood finds a global footing. Genre is purely a suggestion. The edges blur, and the blur becomes the sound of the decade. Trends clashed. There was no single sound, look, or vibe. And honestly, that's exactly the point. Cool wasn't about consensus. On TV, the world's obsessed with Friends. TRL is forming in MTV's control rooms. Magazines like Vibe, The Face, and Rolling Stone define taste. At home, the PlayStation 1 changes how we play. Windows 95 makes the internet less theory and more lifestyle, and suddenly fandom becomes community. We think of 1996 as messy, but that's what made it modern. It taught
Damn, bro, she's fucking converting my mindset already. I'm already locked in. Big 2026, let's get it.
To live in overlap. The lo-fi aesthetic on TikTok, that's Trainspotting's DNA. Indie films taught blockbusters to have feelings. Pop feminism and community energy, that's the Spice Girls. If 1986 invented personality, 1996 perfected authenticity. It proved you can be mainstream and messy. So, what does this cycle predict for 2026? We're heading into another collision. Identity, genre, technology, and emotion all overlapping again. So that's 1996. Kind of chaotic, kind of genius, but impossible to ignore. Now, 10 years later, the internet grows up, and so do we. Welcome to 2006.
Fake right and break left. left. Watch out for the pick and keep an eye on.
It's a year where everyone's online, but no one's quite sure what that means yet. Cameras shrink, opinions grow, and suddenly we're all the main character on platforms that don't even know what a platform is yet. Let's start on the big screen, right before it gets small. Fashion meets feminism, meets capitalism, with a monologue that still echoes through every hustle culture TikTok. A travelogue turned cultural mirror. 2006 learns that chaos goes viral faster
Oh
than
shit,
beauty.
Borat came out. Bro, I fucking feel like this was the OG movie of every immigrant ever, bro. When I first came to America, I didn't even know what this movie was. I fucking found out and I was like, yo. This shit is an iconic movie, bro.
Sacha Baron Cohen makes satire look slapstick, and in doing so, predicts internet.
That's probably like, I'm not gonna lie, that's probably why my comedy is the way it is, because of, I didn't know Sacha Baron Cohen like that. I just knew Borat. His character was so great. I always thought he was the Borat. I thought that was his name. I thought it's crazy.
Trolling before we
That's why I'm the way I am. Borat.
even had a word for it. We get tone whiplash as generation learns range, prestige crime, indie heartbreak, musical comeback. Streaming didn't exist, but this was the prototype. A Disney Channel movie that behaves like a global franchise. James Bond gets an emotional reboot. Cool can also cry. Spain, Mexico, and South Korea are redefining storytelling. Pan's Labyrinth weaves fantasy and fascism. Was 2006 the last great year of the movie theater? Or the first year cinema learned to compete with the internet? Every film's marketing plan includes one new frontier: YouTube. Trailers are clicks now. If 1986 gave us MTV and 1996 gave us TRL, 2006 gives us autoplay. Pop merges with hip-hop, a masterclass in independence. Rock, indie, and irony collide.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't want to get the beehive activated, but I don't know. I feel like Beyonce overhyped, bro. That's just me, though. I'm sorry. I don't want to get the beehive activated, bro. I don't know.
Smile, crazy. Every track feels handmade before the algorithm industrialized taste. Hip-hop starts making bigger statements, has smarter production, sharper commentary. Barbados gives us Rihanna, the birth of pop dominance. France launches Justice and the Ed Banger label, defining electronic rebellion. Nigeria continues to carve the foundations of Afrobeats. Korea's Big Bang defines K-pop's second generation. And Shakira spins Spanish-English crossover into world domination. The Office found humor in monotony. Grey's Anatomy perfected emotional cliffhangers. Meanwhile, Netflix is still mailing DVDs. Facebook drops its exclusivity. Twitter launches. The idea that we could upload something to the same internet as Beyonce changed everything. But of course we have to question the hype.
See, that's what I'm saying, bro. All black women love Beyonce. They all love Beyonce. I get it. She's got a good voice. I'm not saying, but the hype is so crazy. I don't know. I feel like she's like overhyped. I could be wrong.
Connection or performance. People posted statuses like diary entries, but only when someone was watching. We called it sharing, but it was branding. We were building the internet's personality before it learned boundaries. The year looked casual, but it was the dress rehearsal for everything performative. The nostalgia for 2006, it's about the internet before the algorithm, before curation became control, and before influence became industry. We didn't invent virality. We just stopped needing MTV to do it for us. The MySpace photos, the blurry digital cameras, the filters. Pop culture didn't belong to studios or labels. It belonged to us. Messy, loud, and unfiltered. If 2006 taught us anything, it's that connection always comes with a cost. We wanted to share and ended up streaming. So what happens when the next cycle hits? So that's 2006, the year culture went online and never logged off. Now 10 years later, in 2016, it's the year authenticity becomes aspiration.
That girl is a real crowd, please.
The year playlist replaced.
I hope I don't fucking get
mixtapes.
copyrighted for this shit. That's gonna be gay as hell.
Every headline felt like a plot twist. From red carpets to protest marches, festivals to timelines. You feel it in the music, you see it in the movies, but more than
Bro, 2016 was the best summer. I'm not even music-wise. I just don't know what it is. Fucking Obama was president. Like,
I think you lived it. Let's start with the screen. 2016 turns movies into emotion machines. A film about chasing dreams that feels like one. Every song is a confession, and somehow we all needed that. In the same year, silence speaks louder than spectacle. An intimate story that wins Best Picture, remember that moment? And redefines what a classic looks like. Such a victory for softness in such a loud world. Science fiction becomes communication therapy. Language, memory, and connection, themes that defined 2016 far beyond the screen. Zootopia, Manchester by the Sea, Hidden Figures, each one cracks open identity and
I'm not even gonna lie, I have not seen half of the movies or the music that she's mentioned so far.
ambition. Animation, history, and grief.
The fact that Black Beatles song was peak, I'm not gonna lie. Black Beatles. I might have to go pop that in the car in just a bit, bro.
All share the spotlight. Superheroes go meta, sarcastic, and political. In Japan, Your Name breaks hearts and box offices worldwide. France's Elle flips the revenge narrative, and Germany's Tony Erdmann reminds us awkwardness is a universal language. When was the last time movies made you feel that? Not entertained, but seen. And I mean, Leo finally won an Oscar. Now press play. No marketing, no warning, no rules. He disappears, drops an album, and time stopped. No singles strategy, no formula, just an artist owning her own era. The 1975 made sincerity cool again. Lyrics about love, anxiety, and self-awareness, soundtracked in pink lights. The perfect mood board for a generation raised online, but feeling everything offline. Soul, funk, and future collide. Introspection becomes innovation. A quiet rebellion against perfection. A visual album. It's art, therapy, and revolution.
Fucking Beyonce again, bro.
All in formation. Legacy and reinvention intertwine. The past and the future.
Starboy was in 20. Oh my god. Starboy was that old?
K-pop goes global with BTS's rise. Afrobeats breaks borders with WizKid's Come Closer. Latin pop finds its next wave with J Balvin's reggaeton revival. The UK blends grime and R&B through Skepta and Neo, and everyone's dancing when you didn't need an algorithm. Just aux chord democracy.
I'm trying to fucking get into Dancing Big 2026, bro. I was hitting moves at the talent show, bro. I'm telling you, I need to get
Stranger
into
Things. Retro nostalgia with fresh wonder.
It's been 10 years since Stranger, bro. They're on season 5, right?
Internet unites over kids.
I'm not even gonna lie. I haven't really watched anything after the first season, but I know people are like dying for it. It's been going for 10 years.
And monsters in basements. Atlanta, Black Mirror. TV stops asking for attention, and instead it demands reflection. Streetwear becomes couture. Athleisure hits runways. Minimalism meets maximalism. The memes, the festivals, the chaos of it all.
Damn, Daniel!
Pokemon Go turns cities into playground. Everyone's outside, everyone is filming, everyone's living life like it's a montage.
I'm not gonna lie, now that the COVID is over, hey, I feel like we're about to be outside big 2026, bro. Oh my god, bro. I have not heard this song in so long.
Reshaped how we see art, identity, and each other. Music becomes protest, movies become empathy, style becomes statement. But here's the twist. 2016 also marks the end of innocence. Politics divides feeds, and outrage starts trending harder than joy. It's the year the internet feels both infinite and very fragile. We didn't know it yet, but the party was about to turn into a marketplace. Here's why 2016 won't let go, and why we won't let go of it. I think it was because of how alive it all felt. You could love Moonlight and La La Land in the same breath. Stream Lemonade and then tweet about Blonde. Cry to Manchester by the Sea and then dance to One Dance. Culture wasn't divided by taste. 2016 was unity through diversity. Art, fashion, identity, and politics all remixing each other in real time. Maybe that's why everyone keeps saying it was the best year ever. Because deep down, we knew we were part of something that couldn't last. A rare moment when the world
fucking summer 16. Sheesh.
Felt big, but also right next to you. So, what does 2016 predict for 2026? Ironically, that cycles don't repeat, they remix. So if 2016 was about shared emotion, 2026 will be about reclaiming meaning. We've learned to curate, to comment, to caption. Now maybe it's time to just feel again. So that was 2016. Now it's your turn. I want to hear your 2016 memories, your favorite album, favorite movie, the moment that made it golden, because I know we all have one. Now it's time to step into the year that hasn't happened yet, the golden year we get to shape. We've seen the signs across every decade. Golden years happen when artists take risks, and audiences reward them.
How do I take risks this year? I've already been fucking banned. But look, I'm trying to shape this fucking comedy shit, but look, it's not rewarding me right. I've been taking L's left and right. I've been getting fucking just annihilated.
Could 2026 be next? Let's start with film. Margot Robbie, Jacob Elordi, rewriting the Gothic canon. And people are already arguing about it, passionately. That's exactly what makes it perfect. Polarizing art is proof that culture is alive. Christopher Nolan returns with myth, scale, and pure ambition. A reminder that audiences still crave spectacle. Zendaya and Robert Pattinson in a slow burn character study. Prestige cinema holds its ground. Whitney Springs, a quietly anticipated project from two culture shapers who redefine visual storytelling every time they release. And a reminder that Black filmmakers continue to push the form forward, often setting the tone for the decade before anyone else even notices. The Anthony Bourdain biopic, a story about curiosity in a fractured world, and exactly the kind of film that speaks to a generation rebuilding meaning. Of course, we're still going to get some sequels, but this time audiences are questioning it. Nostalgia no longer guarantees loyalty, but with some deep world building, people will still show up. Internet myth becomes cinematic lore, proof that the next cultural era will be shaped by grassroots creativity and fan-built world.
Maybe I will feel this type of art deep in my soul, but recently, I will not lie, the last 30 days have said otherwise, because I have not felt any. I feel fucking drained the last 30 days, bro.
Golden years happen when audiences demand more and creators answer. If 2026 defaults to sequels, trends, and safe bets, it won't be golden at all. And as usual, 2026 won't be defined by Western charts or Hollywood releases. It will be shaped by the likes of Lagos, Seoul, Mumbai, Sao Paulo, London, Johannesburg, and Tokyo all at once.
How about Big Dallas? The Big D, everything bigger in Dallas. Or Texas, I mean, like either way, but Big D.
Border stories, multilingual albums, streaming platforms releasing films globally on day one, creators collaborating across continents. Culture has never been this connected or this collective. Charlie XCX, Wuthering Heights, an album and a film crossover. Music, visuals, story, aesthetic, released as one experience. This could be the blueprint for the decade. Albums as universes, songs spanning English, Arabic, Yoruba, Hindi, a global sound without borders. And with artists like Bad Bunny headlining global stages like the Super Bowl, Latin pop becomes global pop. 2026 won't be defined by one genre, but by the way genres collide. TV in 2026 is moving back to world building that you can live in. The Stranger Things spin-off, prestige fantasy returns with moral complexity and political tension. It seems that people just want stories with stakes. And everywhere you look, art is becoming braver. We're in an
Oh my god, please! Wait, hold on. I didn't pause. Hold on. This, okay, my fault, guys.
era where everything
Look! That's how I want to be, bro. Holding the fucking trophy at Quinlan's. We did it! We packed out an open mic!
feels political because one, it is, and two, the world is finally asking harder questions, and audiences want art that reflects their humanity rather than smoothing it over. I think we're heading towards a year where artists stop playing it safe, biggest stories come from the margins, music becomes more global than it's ever been, film reconnects with feeling, and TV shrinks and expands at the same time. Fewer shows, deeper worlds. Creators blur into directors, musicians blur into filmmakers, and audiences blur into collaborators. Golden years
And
on
comedians blur into philosophers.
accidents. In
Hey, I'm not
2026,
gonna lie, I did watch Chappelle's new special. I don't know if I could say the whole thing. The unstoppable act. There's a word in there that I can't say, but that shit was fucking philosophical. Like that shit, I loved how funny that fucking. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I realize why he's the king. I need to, get to that level. I need to be a comedy legend like that, bro. One day. Just gotta spend like 50 years doing it though.
It has every ingredient, but it still needs the most important one. Us. We shape them through what we watch, what we share, what we champion. So my final question, what will you create? What will you support? And what kind of life will you live that could make 2026 golden? Happy New Year. Let's make it one worth remembering.
W video, Tati. Hey, 20K? Hey, she getting there. Hey, look, keep up that good grind, bro.